Education. And I'll let Scott go ahead and start the recording. Great. Well, welcome to the Virtual Study Abroad Fair. We are going to be discussing the study abroad options for School of Art and Design students this evening. There's a lot of exciting opportunities out there for you, and we wanted to feature them for you because luckily, Dave Beck, who is the Director of School of Art and Design, and Julie Peterson, who is the Chair of the Design Department, have been to these schools. So no better people to talk about it than them. So we're going to, there's Julie and Dave, thank you. So just to go over a brief agenda, we're going to be discussing the semester and academic year programs that are available to you, some of the faculty-led programs, then go into a little bit of financing, how you can apply if you're interested, and then how to contact us if you have questions after this evening. And we also have Scott Pearson here. He's the director of the Office of International Education. Scott, there we go. And I didn't say my name. I'm Andrea Morse, and I'm the interim assistant director of Study Abroad. Scott, do you want to advance to the next slide? We're going to just kick it off here with the different schools. So just first actually to mention the locations of the programs for the semester and academic year, we have direct partnerships with several schools. So we have partnerships in Belgium, the Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, Japan, and Italy. And we'll be talking exclusively about these this evening. Now, anytime you see exchange, that's when you're paying the Stout tuition and fees, which usually makes programs a little bit more affordable for students. So we'll be talking about those options. Great. And Dave, do you want to kick it off and talk about HOWist?
Sure, I'd love to. Thanks, Andrea. So welcome everybody that's out there watching this tonight. Really excited to talk to you about a few of these programs. I've had the opportunity to visit some of these actually when I was over doing research in Scotland. I had a chance to fly down to mainland Europe and visit a couple of these schools. This first one I just had a wonderful time at. I was extremely impressed. HOWist University, you see, of applied sciences, is very much similar to kind of what we think about as a polytechnic. So they embrace and support hands-on learning just like we do as well. And they've got probably one of the best and biggest game design programs in the entire Central Europe or European area, as well as ranked in the world. Extremely advanced. They have an entire building for us, our art students out there. They have a whole building the size of applied arts dedicated to games and animation. So lots of different labs, lots of really different cool activities going on there. But then also in addition to that, in another part of campus or another part of the town, in Kortrijk, they have a really fantastic graphic design program. And then on top of that, they have another part of town, an amazing industrial design program. I can say honestly, I've never been to a school that is so in line with how we teach and what we expect of our students and rigor as I have when I visited HOWist. Each of those were cutting edge dedicated buildings close to the size of our buildings for just that type of discipline. So again, those are some of the emphasis areas there. Most of these happen in in fact, all of those happen in Kortrijk. It's a nice small town. Well, it's not that small, but a pretty town that has been rebuilt over time, right on the train line that can take you down to Bruges, which is unbelievable, as well as Ghent. It's right near the French border, so there's quite a lot to be able to do and explore in that area. So again, lots of history there. Really advanced game design programs, as well as industrial design and graphic design. We even have some students, I think it's this semester, studying with us, maybe, you can probably correct me if I'm wrong, Andrea, from HOWist, I think in industrial design. So again, we're already starting this exchange. I'm very, very excited about HOWist. Do you want me to just keep going? I'll just keep going.
Go
All right. So Saxion, is actually pretty far north. If I had a map, I could show you that it's basically very close to the German border. In the Netherlands. And most of what you're going to be doing is in Deventer. You might do some in Enschede, but most of it is going to be in Deventer. Again, kind of like what I said before, here they've got one building that's probably 5 to 7 floors tall that is dedicated to all things art and design. The base is a really great fashion design program that's very similar to our fashion apparel program, fashion retail. And then the upper floors have different types of game, graphic, and animation. Not as big as Howest, but still a really great experience. And again, another wonderful way where you just, I think about an hour out of Amsterdam. So again, you're really close to some really big international cities. And with Amsterdam being so international and so central, you can basically hop on a flight. This is the advantage of Saxion, out of Amsterdam and go anywhere in Europe. And I'm not exaggerating here, for like 30 bucks. You could fly to Paris for 30 bucks. You could fly to Italy for 50, 100 bucks. So that's the beauty of when you're over there. It's so easy to travel. So again, that's Saxion. Definitely more technical than Howest. So if you're someone that feels like you love art and design, but you also kind of like that technical side, this is a great opportunity for you at Saxion. All right, Hoofda. So it looks like it's Skovd, but it's Hoofda. And this is in Sweden. I didn't visit all these places at the same time, by the way. This is over the course of almost 10 years. So Hoofda is in a small town in Sweden. I think it's about halfway between two bigger cities in Sweden. So you're kind of right on the train line. You step off the train, and on one side of the train tracks is the city of Hoofda, and on the other side of the train tracks is the university and the dorms and everything else. So it's a really great central location there that they rely heavily on the train system to be able to get to those bigger cities. There's a massive Volvo plant here. So again, there's a lot of focus on design. They also have a very good animation, digital media, and game design program. One of the things that really stands out, I would say, to me, to Hoofda, for any of you that have played Goat Simulator, this was created there. They have what they call, I don't know if they call it an incubator space, but they have a building that is offsite that's very connected to the university as far as working together. And students, when they graduate, the government funds studio space for them to have their own game design studio, startup company there. And that's what Coffee Stain Studios, which is Goat Simulator, did, as well as dozens and dozens of other game studios. So they took me to this building that was a couple floors, and the whole building was filled with indie game studios of students that were formerly at Hoofda that then formed their own company. So they're very advanced in the idea of kind of entrepreneurship, understanding how to work for or form your own company. And Hoofda, more than anyone else, more than Howest, more than Saxion, is very connected to the government as far as in a good way, as far as like funding and support and collaboration with the Swedish government. So again, some really great opportunities there at Hoofda. And don't forget, though, at somewhere like Hoofda, it's far enough north that when you're there in the winter or the summer, don't forget the sun changes too. So depending on what time of year you go, you're going to have really long sunny days or some longer winter nights. But again, that isn't too bad for our game designers and animators.
If I could just mention one thing, Scott, you mind going? Thank you. I was in the presentation with the reps from University of Hoofda earlier today, and they talked a bit more about their curriculum and how they're expanding more classes and offering more courses in the English medium. And so now students can actually go, not just fall term, which is reflected on the screen here. Students are able to go in fall and spring now.
Good.
And get courses in English. They're going to be sending that information about the courses pretty soon. There's about 20 some courses each semester that they're able to provide, and there's going to be even more classes for those in game design art now. So that information will be on our website when it's received from them.
That's great. Thank you. And a couple other things on that. Yeah, I should note that that's always been a little bit of a hang up because we could only do one semester. For those of you, if any of you had Carl Cayley, he has been to HOVDA as well as a participant in a graduate program over there, I think for a week in the summer, perhaps. So again, he'd be able to answer some questions as well. Okay, Hochschule Darmstadt. So this is in Germany, and it is mainly all in Darmstadt in terms of what we're talking about for art and design. They have some, again, some really great programs. I'm sorry, Darmstadt has focus on the graphic design and the industrial design programs. They have an older campus called the Mathildenhof that is up on this hill that overlooks the city. It's gorgeous, some beautiful architecture that actually formed and it was originated there. And they have some very good, very independently driven courses that are, some are taught in English, some are taught in German, but the courses you'd be taking probably would be, and like you see there's a pre-semester for German language as well, kind of a boot camp. Fantastic programs in those kind of more traditional design disciplines. Their graphic design program is phenomenal. Beautiful building and beautiful space for you to be experiment and kind of spread out. That's in Darmstadt, which is a really gorgeous city just down the line from Frankfurt. And of course, that's a much bigger city. But then in Dieburg, which is maybe 20 minutes ride, I'd say, a train ride. That's where their game and animation campus is. It's in a former campus that was essentially for, like, us think of it as AT&T or Verizon, a former telephone campus, I guess you could say, that has now been taken over by the university. And so they have this infrastructure that's very big. It feels like you're walking on a corporate campus, but now it's all for these different types of programs. And some of those are animation, digital media, and game design. Again, some really great facilities there. Everything they teach is in English. We have been working with them for the last, I don't know, Andrew, you probably know, 5 to 7 years, I think. So we have a very good relationship with them. We have some students come over here. We send students over there. Everything is taught in English. And this is a very international program, actually very much like Howest, where they recruit and they find students from all over the world. And it's a very good program. So again, Howest and Darmstadt are kind of neck and neck in terms of just the prestige in their game and animation and programs. And again, both have advantages and disadvantages, but overall, another really great program. Dieburg you would live in Dieburg, a very much smaller town, or to go to school and most of your classes there, or you could live in Darmstadt, which is what I would recommend, because it's a nicer, cooler, bigger city, and then you just take to the train. And typically, I'm guessing it's the same way here. Students have free train passes usually when they're studying over there, so that'd be something you'd be able to do as well. And I mean, I could talk about this, but I have not been here. Maybe someday. So I don't know, Andrea, if you want to talk about this one.
Sure, I can talk a little bit. And I think Scott's also been here, I believe. He might be able to jump in. But Kansai Gaidai is in Japan. It's one of our newer exchanges. And it's located just right outside Osaka, and which is also very close to Kyoto, which is the original or old capital of Japan. Beautiful traditional town. But Osaka is a large city, and Hirakata is not far from there. They have a variety of courses, and they have a few studio art courses. They also have a manga course, some ceramics. So it's a good option for School of Art and Design students. And you can also pair it with, maybe you need 1 or 2 gen eds. This would be a good option. They offer programs in fall, spring, summer, and the academic year. And again, it's exchange. Yeah, so you pay the Stout tuition and fees for this program. I had a chance to live in Japan for a year. I taught English over there. It's a beautiful, amazing country. It's a great opportunity to learn about the Asian culture, and learning animation in Japan. There's really no better place for that, since they're big on manga there. Scott, do you want to add anything about this program?
Sure. Yeah, I think you described it really, really well. The only thing I would add is that this particular program if you're looking at a destination where you're going to be really studying advanced, art within the School of Art and Design, it's probably not for you. The classes, I think, are more general in that sense. They're not known necessarily as an art institution, but they have some really, really interesting offerings. And like Andrea said, if you have some electives to fulfill and also are looking at potentially taking some gen ed courses, it could be a great destination. The location is phenomenal. It's a very state-of-the-art institution. The on-campus living arrangements are wonderful, and they also can coordinate homestay opportunities for students. So you really have an opportunity to have an enriching, culturally immersive, experience. Like many of the universities that we've been talking about, I think this particular institution does a really good job, attracting international students. So you're not going to have, an American experience in Japan. You're going to have a truly international experience, having Japanese students in the class as well as students from all throughout the world. So a really, really good opportunity.
All right, this is me. Hi, everybody. I'm Julie Peterson. I'm the current department chair for the Department of Design here at Stout. I typically teach in the BFA Interior Design program and also in the MFA graduate program as a graduate faculty member. I was lucky enough to visit Accademia Italiana in Florence 2 years ago, and kind of as a search mission to see if this was a study abroad opportunity that we would want to pursue with this university. And I was really, really impressed. So I just want to kind of hit some high points of what these programs have to offer. So they have bachelor programs, and over there the bachelor programs are 3 years in length, but they have a combined interior and product design. So think of that as interior design and industrial design combined. So it's kind of an interesting way that they package that with the curriculum. They also have a bachelor's in graphic design, a bachelor's in photography in what they call new media. I would think of that as video production. They also have a bachelor's in jewelry design and a very, very well-known fashion design. They put on a huge fashion show. They actually hire, I was able to attend that when I was over there. They hire runway models from Milan to come down for this, and it's quite exciting. They also have a newer master's programs that you can check out too, as well as summer programs. So this is in the beautiful, I would say, the kind of the Tuscany region, and there's some really famous pieces of architecture, Renaissance architecture, the Duomo, the Palazzo Pitti, the Boboli Gardens. You can see Michelangelo's David there, and it's right along the Arno River in the heart of literally the heart of Florence. So what's really unique about this program is that roughly 50% of the students that go here are Italian, and they have a lot of good onboarding for students that are studying abroad. So they have a really, really good orientation program that's a multi-day orientation program that includes guided tours of Florence, including some day-to-day basics, such as like, where would you go? Like, what kind of market would you go to get groceries? Where is the nearest pharmacy? They also spend a lot of time on safety protocol with traveling and health and things like that. For housing, there's a housing service, and you would live, there are no dorms, so it's all apartment living, but there's a housing service that Accademia Italiana outsources to assist. And they also provide day trips and overnight trips. I want to say it's 1 to 2. I don't quote me on that, but it's something like that regarding study abroad as part of the study abroad experiences. So they want to get you out and see, the region and the area. The courses are taught in English, but by Italian design professionals. So these are people that are living, breathing designers, interior designers, graphic designers, architects, and they're coming in one to 2 times a week and having kind of your intense studios. There's a lot of time within the campus, within like a week, that you would be working on your own. The European model of education is maybe very different than what you're used to here in the States. So that's one really exciting part. And the location of this is, like I said, is right downtown in the heart of Florence. And the primary building that many of the classes the design classes anyway, are in a historic building that's right across from Palazzo Pitti and the Boboli Gardens. So it's a big hub of activity. I also toured the fashion area, which is across on the other side of the Arno River. It was maybe about a 15-minute walk to get there. And that's where a lot of the fashion design students have their classes. So overall, like I said, this is a new program. We were ready to launch a summer experience this last summer, pre-COVID, and then COVID hit. So we're hoping to kind of get this launched soon. And so we're ready to have some students go over there and tour. If you have any questions about Accademia Italiana, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you.
We may have just lost Andrea to another meeting, but perfectly fine. I'd like to continue by describing some of our upcoming faculty-led programs. We are planning now well in advance. We know that summer 2021, unfortunately, we're not exactly certain that we're ready for it just yet with the pandemic. So we're looking into winter of 2022 and then the following spring and summer. So up and coming, the next program for art and design students is a concept art program that's going to take place in Japan during winterm 2022. Happy to tell you more about that program. We have a lot of good information on our website on the UW-Stout Studio Abroad platform, and it can go through the day by day as well as the course offering that you can see there on the screen, and it describes a little bit more about the finances. Just as a reminder, anybody who takes part in a winterm program, if you're receiving financial aid is applicable towards a winter experience, and anywhere from 1 credit and beyond. So that's something to consider. For summer, typically we look at 6 credits or more for financial aid to be applicable. Yeah, that's I know a program that's going to be widely popular. We've been wanting to do a program like this in Japan for quite some time. So feel free to reach out and get in touch with us if you have more questions about that. We have another program that's kind of a combination of art as well as business. It's a game design careers and the GDC experience. And I'm sorry, I was getting ahead of myself. I was looking at the entrepreneurship and innovation, the Scandinavian gamification and technology experience led by Mary Spaeth. That's going to take place summer of 2022. And Dave, would you like to talk a little about the game design careers and the GDC experience?
Sure. Yep. Yeah, sure. Happy to. So this is something that we've been doing for quite a long time. It's probably one of the more popular programs for our game design students, as well as our animation students. What this is that each spring, usually in March, the Game Developers Conference, which is the world's largest conference for game developers and designers, usually around 30,000 people, 20 to 30,000 people, descend on San Francisco. As you can imagine, that did not happen this year, nor this coming year, but in the future, we will be hoping to go back, where we go out with our students, and not only do you get to attend talks, you walk the expo floor, you hear talks from famous designers and artists in the region, in the discipline, but you also get to network with quite a lot of them. There's portfolio reviews. There's no better way to prepare yourself for a career in game design and development or animation than something like going to this. Think of it almost as like a super shot into your arm of tons of information over the course of just a couple days. So we do that every year. And I usually recommend that students plan to try and save up and try and go their junior year. And then also plan to go back their senior year on their own, which is usually what happens. A group of alums get together, alums from the program get together and go out on their own. They take the train out, do some train jamming, because there's a big game jam that happens on the train too. So great experience.
Great. Do you know, Dave, if that's going to be offered online this spring?
They've actually moved it. They are offering quite a lot of it online this summer. So they've moved it to this summer. I can't remember the exact dates. And I'm sure some of it is going to be free and accessible. So that's something to check out. We're obviously not doing anything with a trip or an experience, but yeah, there is going to be some things online in the summer.
Great.
Hey, Scott, can I add something with the entrepreneurship
absolutely
study or faculty led? If we get a really good response rate on that and get over 15 people, one of our Carl Cayley, who's with our game design and development art program, he will be going along kind of to help manage all the students along with Mary Spaeth. So kind of an exciting opportunity. So we really want to promote both those programs. And then the concept art in Japan program will be led by Kimberly Delane.
Yep. Yeah, we're very excited. I know both Kimberly has experience having lived and worked in Japan earlier in her career, and Mary Spaeth is a dual citizen, U.S. and Swedish. So that's really exciting.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So a couple more slides to take you through here with regard to programs in general. I did mention that for our faculty-led programs, if you take part in summer or winter, there are some opportunities to have financial aid applied. There also are scholarship opportunities. Students who receive a government, Pell Grant, there's something called the Gilman Scholarship that's up to $5,000 in value. This is typically for students that are for programs that are 4 weeks or more in duration. So we can guide you through that process. We fortunately had a student who applied and won the award last year, and we're looking forward to working with students to apply for these awards moving forward. But we're also working with the foundation office. Pleased to announce that this past December, we were able to raise a significant amount of dollars through our Day of Giving campaign, and a lot of those dollars are going to be applied towards study abroad scholarships. So lots of opportunities to take part and to help subsidize the experience. One thing that I should also note is that during this actual fair, if you're just tuning in right now and haven't attended any of the other sessions, we've recorded everything. So I would strongly encourage you to navigate through this space, listen in on some of the sessions that you may have missed. And there's a micro scholarship that we're offering for the first so many students that will answer certain questions and submit them to the study abroad office. And that can be applied towards any UW-Stout program. So a good opportunity to have some money that can go immediately towards your study away experience. All right. So when looking into programs, if you haven't been on our platform, on the screen here, you can see our web address. It's uwstout.studioabroad.com. That will take you to our search engine. It's a pretty sophisticated search engine that allows you to search by multiple means. You can search by major, you can search by duration, and you can actually search if you wanted to do an exchange program or a faculty-led experience, whether that be winter or summer. There's lots of different ways to get at the variety of programs that we have. We have a lot of tutorials and videos in terms of how to go about a search. We've been told that it's a little overwhelming when you're looking to explore the different experiences that we have. We are in over 40 countries, over 200 destinations, so there's a lot of info out there. I would recommend getting in touch with myself or Andrea, or if you'd like to get in touch with Dave or Julie to ask additional questions about these specific programs we described today. We're happy to be resources for you. We'd love to see more students engage. So with that being said, I think we're getting close to the end here. Of course, we're all on social media, so make sure that you start to follow us. And I will open it up for questions. Let me stop showing my screen here. I know we have a decent audience here with us today. Feel free to turn your mics on and ask some questions, or you can simply add to the chat and we'll address them that way too. Do we have any questions? Great opportunity for all of you. Don't be shy.
We're just that good. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
I see
here we
someone
are.
typing something. And Scott, while we're waiting, I don't know if you were on that too, but it looks like some videos have been passed through from some of the other universities. So I think those will be neat to share with some of these folks too, if they're
Absolutely.
interested.
Yeah, we're going to be
Yeah.
adding more videos to the Canvas site here, and also to our Studio Abroad, search engine there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. Good.
We've got one question coming in here, but I know that Dave, you had a fantastic experience in Scotland recently, and I know that's something that our office is working with you on to have more programming available, potentially summer 2022 and beyond.
Hoping, crossing fingers that we can figure something out. Yeah. Get back to Scotland.
Exactly. So that's something for our students to look into. Will be one of the things I should mention regarding our faculty-led programming is that it's always changing. We'll have certain programs each winter and each summer, and it really depends on our faculty and our student interest in terms of where we go and the programs that we run. But they're all uniquely amazing, and I think one of the best things about it is if you've never been overseas, it's a great way to kind of take the first plunge, because everything has been really planned out for you. You have faculty that have experience in some of these destinations, and they're coordinating everything from the flight that you travel on to where you'll be staying, to what you'll be learning. And it's you do have some free time to go out and enjoy and explore, but it's a very coordinated effort, and you have the safety and security of having a veteran along with you on the journey. So yeah.
Yeah, and we have, I know besides the one to California, we've gone to California in the summer and the winter for different options as well beyond that. So to LA, we've had faculty go to New York City as well. So there's some domestic travel opportunities too sometimes. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also had someone lead a group to Seattle, I believe, too, as well.
That's
so
right.
Lots of study withins.
Yeah.
All right, here's our first question. Valerie asks, she's interested in interior design virtual options in the future. Okay. She's part-time studying and has kids, so it's a little bit more difficult to leave for a longer experience. Is there anything that she could look into specifically? A lot of our partners are offering virtual options, and I think, while that's of course happening right now due to necessity during the pandemic, we do believe that a lot of these virtual opportunities will exist into the future. So we'd absolutely be delighted to explore some of those opportunities with you, Valerie. Sorry, is it Valley? Sorry. The other thing to consider, though, too, is if you can fit it in, some of our faculty-led experiences might be for a week or 2 weeks. So it's not going to be necessarily a full semester or even a full summer. There might be opportunity to take part in a shorter experience. What we typically do in that is have maybe a week or 2 online as well as a week or 2 in person. So again, happy to talk to you about some of these options. You're very welcome. Yeah. Any other questions? I know we're a little bit beyond time, but we're happy to, I don't know if Dave and Julie, if you've got some time to stick around too to answer any others.
Sure.
Yeah, happy to.
Yeah. And I should make an announcement too, a plug, because right now, just started a couple minutes ago, we have an employer forum. Some regional employers are talking about the value of study abroad and the important soft skills that students learn through the experience, and how when they are doing recruitment, searches for students to be employees at their places of employment, they often look for students that have these skills, and they really place significant value on the study abroad as part of the experience.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
if you have the opportunity after the session ends, hop on over into that session. I think you'll really enjoy it. You're welcome. Welcome. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions coming in, so we'll probably call it there. I really appreciate your time, Dave and Julie. Great presentation, and we'll have this available and up and online for other students to enjoy. So please share with more students. Tell them to take a look and start a deeper dive to make this a reality.
Definitely.
Oh,
My pleasure.
Oh, it's a thank you. Okay, you're welcome.
Cool.
Thank you all so much. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.